Greetings, all, and welcome back to Math in Anger. This is episode 29. We are beginning to talk about parts of one. How do we write about that? How do we write that idea? How do we write about things that have parts of one? But before we do that, I want to bring your attention back to what we were thinking of in previous episodes, right? You know that we have the integers. The natural numbers are part of the integers. The uneven numbers are part of the integers. The even numbers are part of the integers. Again, think back to the example about knives and forks and spoons. Each of these are sets and they are part of a bigger set called cutlery. Right? In the same way, you have number sets that are part of bigger number sets. Again, here, you also know that we cannot use integers to talk about things that have parts of one. So how do we do that? We use it for the stuff you get taught at school. Your early years of school, we use fractions. There are proper fractions and improper fractions. We also use mixed numbers, which is an integer with a proper fraction next to it. And then we also use decimal numbers. Decimal numbers, not decimal number system. Decimal numbers, right? The thing is, if you take a look at something like the number line here, there you have a half, there you have 1.5, there you have 2.5, here you have negative 1/2, here you have negative 1 1/2, here you have negative 2 1/2. But this way of writing values, remember, values are things that you are thinking about. This way that we write stuff that you're thinking about, is not good enough. It isn't. It isn't, because there are things that you can think about that cannot be written with any number system. There are also things you can think of, values that you can think of, that cannot even be represented on the number line. Yes, I know, believe it or not, that is 100% true. You will learn about that the further you go in mathematics. The thing is, I'm bringing this up now so that you are prepared for learning about how we write parts of one that cannot be written using any of these methods. Okay. Another thing I need to bring to your attention is everything you see here is part of another number set, the rational number set. The rational number set are basically numbers that allow us to write values in full. In other words, we can write the entire value using only a number system. We don't need to pull any kind of tricks in order to be able to write the value. We can write the entire value just using a number system. That is a rational number. But now you know we are on our way to start doing fractions. And then we're going to do mixed numbers, and then we're going to do decimal numbers. And more importantly, all the stuff that you struggled with in your early grades in school were basically just how to take one form of the written value and convert it to another form of the written value. And the same thing here. All we'll be doing is you're still thinking about exactly the same value. It's just writing it in different ways. So do be prepared. This can be a little bit irritating, but now you know that that's basically all we'll be doing. And you also know that you can't do everything with this, because there are things that you cannot write using these methods. Okay. That then is Math in Anger, episode 29. We'll be moving on to fractions. I hope you learned something. I'll see you in the next episode. Ciao.